Hi, everyone. This is E, the letter E, empty nester. Um, I'd like to say hi to everyone, and no one's in the chat room right now, but I'll be talking about being officially an empty nester today. It really should have happened a long time ago when my kids were old enough to, leave the house. Hi, someone's in the room now. But officially, my grandson graduated Sunday on Mother's Day. Hi, Jeff. Good to see you. So, since Sunday, that was the last time I seen him, and he's out of the house now. So I guess now I'm officially an empty nester, and it's kind of funny to you know accomplish something. It took a lot to, he lived with us in and out, the last 4 years. And um, I spent it as much as I wanted to. And then he worked to pay for his school too when he graduated high school. Did you get my comment about the aloe? Is that what it says? Yeah, I replied to your comment too. It's back on that video. And what's that called? I lost my train of thought. He graduated with not only a high school diploma, he was one of an associate's degree from college. He worked to pay for college classes the last 2 years, so I'm really proud of him, being a high school and a college graduate at the moment at the same time. And then he was accepted from Missouri S&T, which is down in Rolla, Missouri. And when we looked them up, they were like either number two or number three in the nation for um, engineering, I think it is. And it's a college for science and technology, and he wants to go into robotics. And he had a teacher that was since middle school teaching robotics and computer programming for the robotics, and he that's how he chose his path in life from that teacher. And about, I think, a month ago, that teacher was helping someone with their car, and the jack stands fell, and that teacher was killed. And he was only 34, and they set up what's that called, a scholarship fund for him, hiring. And Jeremy got a scholarship in his honor, and then four other scholarships from, I don't know the amounts or who they were from, because Jeremy didn't tell me. And then from the church that you saw Amy getting married at, he got a scholarship from there too. So I have no clue really how much that's going to help him with his first year. And I'm just really proud of him. And now it's kind of like, wow, to be no longer responsible for any kids. So now I know kind of, I'm in the beginning stages of actually being a real empty nester now. Not a, part-time empty nester, with him in and out. Hi, Shirley. you know, I'm not sure if you heard my conversation or not with Jeremy graduating and me now being an empty nester, but it's kind of really wild and kind of you know, his room is still has some of his things in there, but he's gone. It's really wild, to have the last little bird fall out of the nest, I guess it is, and then his dad came up from St. Louis to see him. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's my first experience with being, you know, when we first moved here in 2006, it was just Jerry and I, and that was actually my first experience with just being us. And now with him gone because of the operation in October, he graduated without a collar, and it turned out that all the people with the collar, he was an buddy, so that's something that if I would have known about, he would have been in. And I went yesterday to get his alumni shirt, and it's pretty wild, to it's kind of like when your kids finish school and then go on, and you know now some of the time, I'm still learning to medically deal with what I'm going to do the rest of my 6 month wait. It's kind of like I'm on probation. You can't do a whole lot, but I keep trying to do a little here and there, and I'm trying not to push my limits. I'm going tomorrow to see the medical doctor, the internist, or just basic doctor checkup. And then what do you call that? I've decided that it's time to just clean house and try, throwing out everything that I don't need, don't use, and just get back to the basics and decide, it's a new chapter now. I don't know if it's a chapter or a new book that I'm going to write. Pulled out some art journals that I did back in 2009, and you know, I'm not do anything like that to create. I did write some things, some positive things in there. It says kind of like moving. Yeah, that's kind of, moving is in my thoughts, whether it be, you know, how I talked about an assisted living place. I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm not sure, what our future holds here yet. But, I thought about getting like a travel trailer. I don't know if that could happen. Don't know if we're just going to just stay here and keep doing what we're doing. I'm not sure if we're just going to, move closer towards Columbia. Everything is, is still thought. It says from Shirley, yes, the young people keep us young. When all my children left home, it was interesting. I was making plans and plans and always change, but keep going on, reinventing yourself. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I was already the empty nester. I'm already, a wife, mom, grandma. And then Tessa's talking about moving to Rolla, and that's a couple hours away, or not Rolla, Cuba, back there. And so it's kind of like back to, you know, I don't know. At first down here, I tried to make some friends, but they turned out to, everybody I met was kind of needy, and I want really a real friend, like I have a lifelong friend, and she moved to Florida, and I moved here, and it was always, we were there for each other, talk wise. We weren't there to need this or that or the other thing from a person. And the two people that I did meet down here were just the wrong people, to add to my life. And the right person is like the right people are here on the internet, and I can't get you all to move down here, or I can't get to move there, if you know what I'm saying, to where, we're just here to learn from each other. We're here to be friends with each other. When we do a video, we help each other out with thoughts, and suggestions and things like that. Real friendship, real kindness, things like that. And I don't know. I guess it's my first empty nester saga. It's kind of talking it out. It's kind of like the first day of the rest of your life. When something different, something happens. And, I could be gardening, and I do have blooms. It says, Betty says, we're staying here winter or not, the upcoming governor is going to have a statewide health insurance, so it will enable Joe to retire even through and on to the transplant list. Wow. Enabled, does that mean that he'll be able to get to retire? I'm sorry, my brain's not. Um, what's that called? Let's see. If you have, I'll try and garden. Not to be morbid or anything. Yeah. You can plant me in the garden too. You know, that was one of my things too. At my old house, I told my kids to cremate me and put me in the garden there. You know, but yeah, healthcare is the reason he's still working. So, will that new healthcare be able to let him retire if it goes the right way, Betty? But I'm right. Good. That's great. So maybe we should move to Michigan or Minnesota. I'm sorry, up there. That's what I talked about yesterday. I made Jerry put in at least one of the air conditioners, their window air conditioners, and the other one takes two people or, one really strong person to put it in. We're getting into summer temperatures here, and telling him it's time to move to a cooler climate. I would like to be, my thoughts were, says, old gardener guy, hi, good to see you. Your health is your wealth. It definitely is. And, I'm kind of, I don't know if you've kept up with my channel, with me having cancer. I'm doing better, and there's hope. And I'm almost to the 27th, I think it is, will be the 2 month mark of getting my ostomy reversed. And I'm amazed at how long it's taken for what's that called? The small intestine to finish growing new skin and being closed up. And, as soon as that happens, I'm going to be a little more confident and, not busting my stomach open again. And then I'm going to have them look too. I think I have a staple left in my up and down cut because I can feel like a metal bar in there. And when they took the staples out, one of the staples were turned upside down and they had to pull that out. So it's kind of wild, to think that there's still a staple there. But sorry about talking about all that, mixing health in with being an empty nester, but it's all part of who I am right now in my life. I'm a empty nester on the mend, and my goal is to get back to happy, smile, happy. And part of art journaling was, I'm not sure, I may share what I did a little, in 2008 or 9. Hi, PM Gardner, good to see you, but it's, something I might show tomorrow or the next day, or, tomorrow's going to be, all morning in Columbia, and then figure out someplace, I haven't been able to eat Chinese food in so long that I'm thinking about stopping in Jeff City and having Chinese food and see if I can tolerate, the rice, because I know the shrimp, I can tolerate, and I've got to be careful because they don't cook their vegetables fully. Whether or not I can digest the semi-raw vegetables, but a treat, Chinese food sounds really good. And then let my asparagus go to what's that called? They're in the bulb stage right now where they're getting ready to flower and create um seed for I think it's Mary Washington, asparagus there, and both of my apple trees now. Somehow with spring being late, I've got a bunch of apples on both the Macintosh and the Apollo Red, so this is going to be a really good season for the little tiny dwarf apples, and the walking onions are blooming. Maybe try a noodle dish instead of veggies for the taste. I can't process noodles. Um, that's one thing I stay away from. You know, I learned from having that ostomy what can and can't digest, and because of the first 12 inches of my colon being removed, I'm still at the I can't digest chicken. I'm still at that stage of risk, and it's not till I'm really healed. You know, I'm gonna wait till the 6 month mark. You know, for like pasta, things like that, and try them again later. And rice, I may be able to try. You know, just a little and see how it works. But at the Chinese restaurant, I think it's Happy Dragon or Dragon's Kitchen or something like that in Jeff City. They have a cottage type of potato that oh yeah, I like fried rice. But they have a cottage sliced potato that they cook there, so you know, I'll try a little bit of the fried rice, but you know, mainly stick with the potatoes, the starch, and crab ragout. You know, sorry about making you guys hungry, but you know, ever since oh man, I keep thinking of, you know, sweet and sour chicken and yummy. You know, so I'm gonna treat myself to that. But I'm also thinking too, with my parents not being really well anymore. You know, it's my stepdad and my real mom in St. Louis, and I lost my real dad. In case some of you are wondering why, you know, I told you that my dad died of cancer, and yet I still have a dad. You know, I have a stepdad that raised me from age 4 and up, and that's the reason I'm here in St. Louis. Or I'm not in St. Louis anymore. I was raised in St. Louis, but he actually said his health is starting to fail, and I'm gonna. Hi, Gary. Great to see you. You know, I'm gonna start trying like I did that 1 day trip. You know, down 1 day, back the next day. I'm gonna start trying to grab the train maybe once a month and see, you know, see how many days I can get into, you know, seeing people again in St. Louis. And, you know, maybe that will be mentally healthy for me too. And then carrying weight wise, I don't think I can carry more clothes than like 2 days. Because my sister-in-law, when I was up there, wanted to take me shopping, and I'm like, I can't carry all that stuff back with me. You know, I'd have to go with nothing and come back with a little bit, or, you know, mail, you know, things back. Because, you know, like 6 to 10 pounds is my weight limit. But I'm thinking about walking around a little bit too, because today some of my irises are in bloom, and the walking onions, I didn't think about that. You know, get a supply of clothes there. That way I don't have to carry things back and forth. But let me turn you around to this iris here. Let's see if you can see the color. You know, make you smile and make you happy. So that's kind of countering, you know, the empty nest syndrome. You know, not that, you know, I've already, you know, when he had to practice his graduation, went through some crazy stuff there, trying to get him there, you know, because I left and he had to be there at 9 and didn't show up, you know, or didn't get out of bed, so I had to keep calling him and calling him. But this iris here is kind of a pale yellow. Let's see. I'm not sure. Sorry about the bad camera work, you know, trying to get it in the picture. It's kind of a white yellow. These are old-fashioned irises that aren't the normal ones that, you know, like new ones that came out. Oops, sorry. And this one's got purple. Let's see. Yeah, I guess you can see them better like that. And then this one, it's not like the other one. This one has a little more purple here and yellow there, where the other one is shades of purple. And then there's a name for these. I'm gonna switch you around camera-wise. But Miss Darce told me, and I forgot, and I wish I could remember. Okay, it's like a light lavender and a dark one. But there's actually they have a name, and let me go ahead and switch back. Um, P&W Garden Gal says, my irises haven't bloomed yet. Yeah, this is a strange year. Mine should have already been bloomed, and I'm sorry, my daffodils did not bloom at all. Oops. Sorry, you're still here. It's YouTube stopped. So I don't know what happened with that. Maybe I have no clue. Maybe I got out of Wi-Fi, or my error is YouTube's error. But any questions? What do you call that? Talking an empty nester back again. You know, it's kind of really pretty wild to when you first do it, or when I first did it, with my kids. It wasn't the same. I didn't have a feeling like this with Jeremy being, you know, graduating and leaving. It's a kind of a different, because I have an 18-year-old grandson. Can you believe that? And it's really wild and really different, because you do things different with grandkids. You spoil them more. You um, do things with them that you would, or let them do things you would have never thought of letting your kids do, because you've got more confidence that things are going to be okay. Hi, Gare. Good to see you. It's a beautiful day here, too, isn't it? Gear Grinder is another Missouri YouTuber. Sorry for the shaking. But, it's today, so it's perfect temperature to sit outside. And I don't know why the birds are so quiet today. Maybe they got washed out of their trees or something. I hope not. But the storm wasn't as bad here as it was, up north of us in Missouri. But, any questions? you know, Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and let you all go. Okay. Gear says, our oldest kid graduated this year. I told him it's time to earn his keep, mow the lawn and clean the bathroom, do the dishes, pull the weeds and the flower beds. You got that right. But Jeremy, he graduated and I think he ran away from home. He doesn't reply to, cell phone messages or anything. He either went back to St. Louis with his dad, or he's with his mom, or he's 18 and can do what he wants. And it's kind of wild, to, I guess you're losing control. Or, he wasn't one that you could actually control either. It's kind of like, call me, tell me where you are. He was always, you have to call him and ask him where he is. But he was, great in school. I know it sounds like I'm talking about him being gone, 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 but it's pretty wild, to have a kid grow up. And, I'm proud that he achieved all that, an honors kid and college degree, and, for high school. That is amazing, or it amazes me that he did it all. Gear says, I used to tell my mom not to worry about me when I am. I'm MIA for 3 or more days. Yeah, you're talking about now or when you were a kid? Shirley says, no, kids can't wait to leave and do their own thing. Yeah, But it feels like you got dropped, as a hot potato. But I guess I kind of now know what I did to my mom too, or my parents. But I guess they were pretty much already prepared. But I waited till I was 18. Like Jeremy, when I was a teen, don't talk to her much these days. Okay, yeah. I guess, what comes around goes around. We have to, we left our homes, became parents, became responsible. Our parents had to go through all this, and it's now my turn to go through it. And I should have already had practice at going to it through it, but with my kids living close by, or somewhat close by in St. Louis, and then after we moved down here, Amy moved down in like 2009, I think it was, and then Tessa's been here for a couple years, maybe, but you know, life goes on, and it's going to be a new adventure, and I just have to figure out what the new adventure is going to be. And I got to figure out how to do it without hurting myself, you know. But I'll go ahead and close for now. Thank you all for listening to me, and you have a wonderful day. So, kisses and hugs. Love you all.